There are many different types of playable ships in Star Trek Online, and a lot of them are obtained through very different means, and it can be really confusing for a lot of new players. So we're going to go over those and give you an idea of what comes from where, what's still useful, what's not, and how certain ships are obtained. We'll start with the basics, and that's the original Tier 1 through Tier 4 ships that you get through leveling up. And these, pretty straightforward. You get them for free as you level up, but these can be kind of confusing because there's also a sort of premium version to a lot of these ships. Like here is the Miranda class, which you get right when you start the game as a Federation character. But there's also another Tier 1 ship that you can get that is the Constitution class light cruiser. This is also a Tier 1 ship, and its stats are very similar to the Miranda class, but it has an extra console slot, and you'll see more of these as you progress further through the game. See, you get up to like the Lieutenant Commander level. Like here is the Tier 2 cruiser, which is the ship that you get when you hit Lieutenant Commander, but there is also a premium version of this ship, and that is the Cruiser Refit. This is also a Tier 2 ship, but it has an extra console. I think it has a different bridge officer layout too. Yeah, it has a little bit more bridge officer seating, a little bit more room in the consoles. These used to be available in the C-Store, but since, ages ago, they took these out of there and have since moved them into the Dilithium store. These more premium versions of these ships, these are not available for free, so you will not be able to pick these up for free as you level up your character in the game like you would the standard versions of these. So honestly, it's really not that big of a deal, unless you really want the costume off of the ship. That's the only big difference between these. They get a little bit better stats. They also get a unique costume and a unique universal console, most of which aren't very useful in the current state of the game. Some of them are, but not a lot of them. But yeah, these ships aren't really something I would worry too much about. Actually, there's one exception to that I would like to call out. The old Temporal Escort. The Tier 3 Temporal Escort, I would definitely pick this one up for Dilithium because this has a really good console on it that would be really good for a lot of free-to-play characters. It's the M6 console. It's basically like a budget version of the Domino. It's good for damage and haste, so this would be a good one to pick up. As you level up your character, you'll be given a choice of one of 3 ships as you level up. Usually it's a difference between a cruiser, escort, and science vessel for that rank. You'll be able to pick one of those. If you'd like to go back and pick a different one of those, after you've already picked one, you will be able to do that by purchasing that other ship with Dilithium. Like say you get the... Let me get a good example. Here, let's say you picked up the heavy cruiser when you hit Tier 3, but then you later decide that you want to pick up the heavy escort instead. You can do that and just purchase the ship for Dilithium. Because you'll have already used your free token on the heavy cruiser, you can still go back and pick up this one for Dilithium. Though with these lower tier ships, the only real reason to pick up more of them is really just to pad out your Admiralty cards, which I know for a lot of people that can be an issue. Not everyone has as many ships as I have. So yeah, going back through some of these older, especially the less expensive ones, can be a good way of padding out your Admiralty cards here. But beyond that, they don't really serve any practical purpose as playable ships once you get further ahead in leveling. Now, remember, those Tier 1 through Tier 4 ships, they all have a, quote-unquote premium version, which is a version that has slightly better stats, a unique console, and a unique costume with them. These days, those are sold for Dilithium from the ship vendors, but back in the day, those used to be sold in the C-Store. And if you previously purchased those through the C-Store back in the day, you can still claim those through the C-Store. So if you purchased any of those older ships through the C-Store, you did not lose access to those, you can still claim them in the Tier 1 through 4 Reclaim tab in the ship section of the C-Store. It is also worth noting that some of these lower tier ships are still available through the C-Store via certain bundles. Like if you go through here, the Temporal Special Agent pack, you can still get stuff like some of the lower tier temporal ships, like the Tier 1 Constitution, or the lower tier version of the Daedalus, or some of the other TOS ships. Okay, the next level of ships would be the tier 5 ships. You do end up getting a tier 5 ship for free, but again, like with the tier 1 through 4 ships, there are premium versions of these tier 5 ships. Unlike the tier 1 through 4 ships, these were not moved into the Dilithium store. These are still only available through the C store and can be purchased with Zen. But again, because these are now a lower tier ship, at one point tier 5 was the end game level, but at this point, T5 is, kind of ancient at this point. So really the only point in going after any of these ships is if they have a particular console or costume that you're after. But as a playable ship, I wouldn't bother with any of these. Now that moves us on to the quote-unquote standard for Star Trek Online these days, and that is tier 6 ships. If you go into the C store, you can find these broken up into different categories. We got tier 6 Federation ships, Klingon ships, Romulan ships, Jem'Hadar ships, and non-aligned ships. But these are just the C store ships. You can find these in the C store. They are normally sold for 3,000 Zen, unless there's a sale on, in which case you can get them cheaper. These are also can be purchased with a 100% off ship coupon, which are sometimes sold on the exchange or can be awarded through certain events like the event campaign. The really nice thing about the C-Store ships is that when you purchase them, they unlock on your entire account. So, like, if you have one, you will be able to reclaim it on any character that you have. So, like, if I already own this one, I can claim it here. If I hop over to another character, I could claim it on that character as well. That's also true with the tier 5 ships or even the older tier 1 through 4 ships that you purchased before they were moved into the Dilithium store. Any ship that you purchase in the C store is unlocked on your entire account. Oh, I should probably clear this up too. When I say C store, I mean the Zen store. The Zen store. You hit here. This is where you purchase things with Zen. I call it the C store because that's what it used to be called way back in the day, and I refuse to change because I'm a creature of habit. So yeah, when I say C store, I just mean the Zen store. I only say C store because I've been playing this game for like 15 years. While tier 6 ships are technically the end game level ships for Star Trek Online, there are different varieties of T6 ships. These are ones available in the C store, but there are others. Another one that is important to distinguish between is fleet ships. These are ships that are variants of C-Store ships. They have slightly better stats, but they are single character unlocks. But you get a huge discount on them if you already have the C-Store version. For example, this is the Andromeda Exploration Cruiser. It is the T6 version of the Galaxy class. You purchase this in the C store. You can purchase it for 3,000 Zen, or whatever it happens to be if there's a sale or if you have a coupon. But there is a fleet version of this ship. With the fleet versions, for one, to get a fleet version, you have to be in a fleet that has a sufficiently leveled shipyard for whatever tier ship that you're trying to get. You also need to have fleet credits as well as fleet ship modules. There are a variety of ways to get fleet ship modules. The easiest way is through the C store. You can find these. What tab are they in? They're in the items tab. You can find them for 500 Zen for one, or you can get a pack of 5 for 2,000 Zen. Now, fleet ships can be confusing for people who are new to the game just because they're kind of weird at this point, and it's not a feature that's always included in a lot of ships these days. So with the fleet ships, you need to be in a fleet, like I said, with a sufficiently level shipyard. You need to have fleet credits. You need to have fleet ship modules, depending on how many you need. You do not need to have the original C-Store ship, though, in order to buy the fleet version of it. However, if you do own the original C-Store version, you do get a discount. This is the fleet version of the Andromeda, which is called the Fleet Galaxy Exploration Cruiser. You can see here, purchasing this would cost me 20,000 fleet credits and a fleet ship module. However, if you look at the fleet version of the Negvar, which I do not have the original C-Store version of it, it will cost me 20,000 fleet credits and 5 fleet ship modules. Now, one of the reasons free-to-play players really like fleet ships is because you can get fleet ship modules for free through the reputation system. Each reputation, once you get it to tier 6, will allow you to get a free fleet ship module from that reputation. You can only get one, so that means you only get one for each reputation. There are only 13 reputations, so that means you can only get a maximum of 13 free fleet ship modules through this means, which means that's a total of minimum of 2 fleet ships, assuming you don't have the discount. But if you do have the C-Store version of whatever fleet ship you're after, that means that would be discounted to 1 fleet ship module. So that means, if you have the original ship, you can get that at a steep discount and, really save on your fleet ship modules. Another important distinction between fleet ships and non-fleet ships is that fleet ships are character unlocks, meaning you will only get one with your character. You buying one will not unlock it on your entire account. So if I, even though I already have the C-Store version of the Andromeda here, buying the fleet version here, I would only have it on this character. I would, if I wanted it on another character, I would have to spend another fleet ship module. Of course, on another character, I would still be able to access those free fleet ship modules, because the free ones from the reputation, those are also character unlocks. So you would still be able to go through the same means of getting those free fleet ship modules on another character like you did on this one. And like I say, you can always buy more fleet ship modules through the C-Store. You can also buy them on the exchange. Fleet ship modules that you buy from the C-Store, those aren't bound to your account. You can sell those onto the exchange, so that means other players can buy them. So if you're wanting to go a total free-to-play route, you can just buy these off the exchange instead. I mean, they're not exactly cheap, but 24 million, that is doable, assuming you have the C-Store cap unlocked. Another thing that makes fleet ships really confusing is that not every C-Store ship has a fleet ship counterpart, meaning there is no fleet ship upgrade for that. If there is no fleet ship upgrade for it, it means it's already technically at fleet quality, meaning it's not missing a console slot or anything like that. But at the same time, it also means you can't get a quote-unquote free version of it just buying the fleet versions. It used to be that any ship that was in some sort of like 3-pack bundle, like the old Odyssey class ships or the Scimitars or the Bortosk, anything like that, those never had fleet ship versions because they were part of larger console sets. But these days, Star Trek Online doesn't always adhere to that kind of rule set, so it's kind of random. So you'll have to, keep an eye on the various ships to figure out which ones do and do not have fleet versions. Actually, this ship right here is a good example. This is the Terran Cygnus Command Dreadnought cruiser, which is just the Terran version of the Galaxy X, the Galaxy Dreadnought. This does not have a fleet version, but if you look up the Yamato, which is the original Federation version of the Galaxy X Dreadnought, this does have a fleet ship version. So yeah, there's very little pattern to it all. Another important distinction between C-Store ships and their fleet ship counterparts is that these ships in the C-Store, they will always come with a ship that also includes a console and a starship trait. If you want the console and starship trait, you have to get the C-Store version, because the fleet version will not include the console or starship trait. The next type of Tier 6 ships are event ships, and it's not totally accurate to say that event ships are only Tier 6 ships. There were plenty of event ships that were Tier 5 ships. It's just, that was back when the end game level of ships were Tier 5. These days, you're never going to see a new Tier 5 event ship, or really any new Tier 5 ship at all. And that's largely because all Tier 6 ships scale with your level. So if you have a Tier 6 ship already when you start a character, you'll be able to play that ship all the way from, just after you finish the tutorial, all the way to endgame level content and beyond. None of the other tiers do that, with the one exception of this one Walker class ship that's available in the Discovery Operations bundle. That thing scales up to Tier 4, but it's an outlier. Don't worry about it. Anyway, event ships. Like the name implies, these are ships that are awarded through various events in Star Trek Online. Star Trek Online runs multiple events over the course of a year that will award a free ship. We actually just finished one on PC, the Dimensional Typhoon event, that rewarded the Tier 6 version of the Typhoon console. That'll be starting up really soon for you guys. Again, you can still see the summer event buyout from over here, which awarded the T6 version of the Obelisk. It used to be that event ships were always considered to be somewhat subpar in comparison to other ships, even those in the C-Store, because they had very limited specialization seating, and they almost never included the specialization ship mechanic. But in the past couple of years, that's actually been changing. So these, the past few event ships that we've seen come out in the game have actually been really, like, stats wise, have been pretty decent compared to ships available through other means. Like the Typhoon that we just got is actually comparable to a promo ship that we got a few years ago, and I'll get to what that means later on. But yeah, in order to get one of these event ships, you have to get it during the event while it's live. You basically just participate in it daily. This doesn't reward a ship, but it does give you the idea of, you gotta play through the event every day until you unlock the reward, and then you get your ship. Once you get an event ship, that will be unlocked on your entire account, and you can claim it on any character, just like you would with a normal C-Store ship. The only downside to event ships is that once the event is over, those ships disappear. They are no longer obtainable unless you either get the second chance buyout, which means you have to spend money on it, or you have to wait until it shows up in Mud's Market, which again means you're going to have to spend money on it. So yeah, when the event is live is the only time you can get an actual event ship for free. Now, technically, there are some past event ships you can still technically get for free, because back in the day, event ships used to end up in the Phoenix Prize Redemption store. So that means you would be able to get them in exchange for an epic Phoenix Prize token. And you can get these Phoenix Prize tokens for free. Technically, you have to get them by going to the Dilithium store. Then you can get them out of Phoenix Prize boxes. Now, there is a chance that an epic prize token can drop from one of these, but it is a very slim chance. So while technically it is a free option because the Phoenix Prize boxes are purchasable with dilithium, it's still going to take a lot of dilithium before you're able to get one of those. But yeah, there are still a number of past event ships that you can get through this means. So like the Vulcan T'Pau scout ship was the most recently added one, but again, that was a number of years ago. Really, the most relevant ship in this thing is probably still the Bajoran Interceptor because of the console that it comes with. But that's about it. I actually already have a video on ships that are worth looking at from this tab. So if you ever do end up getting one of those epic tokens, feel free to check that out. Event ships do not have fleet versions, so you don't have to worry about upgrading these things with fleet ship modules, and it's going to be the same with any other ship that we talk about in this list today, because there are the only ships that are able to be upgraded to fleet ships are C-Store ships. Okay, now let's talk about the quote-unquote premium ships of Star Trek Online. We use the term premium ships as a catch-all for ships that are available via other means, typically more expensive, more gambly means. First are Lockbox ships, and these are available out of lockboxes. There we go. Lockboxes. So the way lockboxes work is that the boxes themselves are very easy to obtain. They can drop as random loot while you're just playing the game. You can also pick them up for free in the Dilithium store. You can see, where are they? They're right in front of my face. So the Infinity Lockboxes, these are generally up all the time, but they also do from time to time introduce new lockboxes that are more specialized. So like the last new one was, I think it was this one, the Last Generation Lockbox. This included a number of unique gear focused around Season 3 of Star Trek Picard. It also included the World Razor, I believe. That makes no sense. The World Razor was Season 2. The Last Generation Lockbox had a chance to drop the Duderstock class. With these specific lockboxes, like the Last Generation Lockbox, they're only available in the game for a limited time, and then they disappear, kind of like how event ships do. Then after some time, the contents of those boxes will eventually be added into the Infinity boxes, which the Infinity Lockboxes, they will include stuff from all of the past lockboxes, with the exclusion of like the most recent 2 lockboxes. Now, there's a lot more than just ships in these lockboxes. You can see, these are past lockbox ships that are included into this box, but you can also have a chance to get old Tier 5 ships, which have next to no value. You can also get a bunch of other gear, a bunch of other bridge officer abilities. There's a lot of stuff in these boxes, so the odds of getting an actual ship out of them are incredibly slim, because these things are just so jam-packed. And the odds of getting a T6 ship, or even just getting something that you actually want out of them, is incredibly slim. Now, while lockboxes themselves are free to pick up, in order to open them, you need a special item. And to get that item, you can go into the C-Store. You can usually find it in the featured tab, but it's also in the items tab, and that is a master key. One of these will open a lockbox. You can buy these on the C-Store, but you can also buy these on the exchange. Right there, master keys. And you're going to end up needing a lot more of those to open up boxes if you're wanting to get a ship. The nice thing, though, about the lockbox ships is that you can also sell those on the exchange, too. So, honestly, it is often much more beneficial to forego the gambling aspect and just save up EC and buy the ship off the exchange, assuming you can find it. Again, it's a lot harder to find, especially older lockbox ships. It's a lot harder to find them on the exchange because there's just so little demand for them. And I'm not going to let this video turn into a rant on all the flaws of the lockbox system. That could be its own video. And I know Spencer already has videos on that topic as well, so I'll leave that for another time. But yeah, that is how you can potentially get a lockbox ship, is by buying master keys via either the C-store or from the exchange, and then opening them and hopefully getting lucky, or you can just buy the ship right off of the exchange right here. An important thing to know about lockbox ships, though, is that unlike C-store ships, they will not unlock on your whole account. Once you open that box, once you open that ship box, it will only be applied to the character that you are on. So be careful when opening that ship box. Be sure you have it on the character that you want it on, because it will not unlock on your entire account. The next type of tier 6 ship are Infinity Promotion ships, or what we typically call promo ships. These are similar to lockbox ships, but drop from a different type of box. Instead of a lockbox where you have a small chance to get a ship or are guaranteed to get some other type of gear, promo ships are only available in a certain type of promotional box, basically. And these boxes come in the form of either the Infinity Promotion version of a Research and Development pack, or a Infinity Promotion version of a Duty Officer pack. Now, the thing with Infinity promo boxes is that they are only available in the C-store for limited times. That's why you don't see any in the C-store right now. There isn't a promo sale on right now. So right now, these Duty Officer and R&D packs are just normal Duty Officer and R&D packs. So they will have no chance to drop an Infinity promo ship. You can't find these promo boxes on the exchange. They're pretty easy to find on the exchange. Just search the word promo and you can find Infinity promotion boxes. This is how you know that an R&D box or a Duty Officer box is Infinity promo. It'll have the name Infinity Promotion in the name, and it'll look like this. Unlike lockboxes, you do not need a master key to open these. You just buy them and you can open them right away. That's mostly because, they already cost Zen to purchase, so there's no need to spend additional Zen to buy a key to open them. So that you can just open them right away and you will have a chance to get an Infinity Promotion ship. But again, it is a very small chance. We're talking like less than 1%. I don't remember what the odds are. That's more of a Spencer question than me. Honestly, I should just pester him. But just like with the ships out of the lockboxes, you can also sell those on the exchange or trade them to other players, so you can get those by other means. Now, unlike the lockboxes, there are no specific themed promo boxes, so you'll never only be able to just open one and only have a chance to get one specific promo ship. You just open any of the Infinity Promotion boxes, whether they're R&D or Duty Officer. If you get a ship out of one of those, they will be you will get a choice of any of the past Infinity Promotion ships, whether they be the latest one or one of the oldest ones. You will get to choose one out of any of those. But again, like the lockbox ships, they will be single character unlocks, so they will only be usable once you open up that ship box. They will only be usable on that specific character. You will not be able to get those on any other character by this means. The last type of tier 6 ship to talk about are from the Lobi store. These are obtained with Lobi crystals. If you have Lobi crystals, you can immediately open up the Lobi store and you can see a list of a bunch of tier 6 ships here. There are actually some old tier 5 ships here too. Now again, these are a lot like the lockbox and promo ships. You can only get one of these when you purchase them, so you will not be able to get these unlocked on your full account by this means. So if you pick up one of these, make sure you get it on the character that you want it on, because these will not unlock on your full account. How you get Lobi crystals is by opening up either lockboxes or promo boxes. If you don't get a ship out of the lockbox or promo boxes, you will always get a small stack of Lobi out of them. And as you open more and more boxes, you'll get more of a stockpile of Lobi, and then you'll be able to buy a ship out of these, or really any of the other stuff available in the Lobi store. But again, like with the lockbox and promo ships, these ships are also available to be sold on the exchange or traded to other players. So you do not have to go by this means to get them. And frankly, with the Lobi ships especially, it's actually more often than not, it's actually cheaper to buy them on the exchange than it is to get them just with Lobi, which is kind of weird, but it's largely because there are a number of players who have such a huge stockpile of Lobi because they open up so many boxes. There's often a decent surplus of a lot of the more in-demand ships from the Lobi store. Now, when buying these ships off of the exchange, it's important that you know the full name of the ship, because there are some that are kind of confusing, like, with California class here, the name California is in the name, so it's pretty easy to search for. But the naming conventions for these ships aren't always as simple. Like, there are multiple different versions of the Constitution class available in both the Lockbox and promo ships, but if you search Constitution on the exchange, you're not going to find anything. So you need to know the exact names of those ships. Like, see, if you search for Mirror Warship, which was a version of the Constitution, there's two of them right there. So yeah, you need to know the exact name of these ships if you're going to be searching for them on the exchange. You can find those on the wiki pretty easily. I'll link the pages for both lockboxes and promo boxes. Those will list every ship that's been in those, so those should be easy to look up. Though it is also something you got to keep in mind is that sometimes those ships will not be on the exchange, even if you do have the name correctly. So like older ships are often in low demand, so it's really hard to find them on the exchange. And sometimes, especially with promo ships, sometimes they end up selling for more money, for more EC than the exchange can support, because the exchange has a cap of 1.5 billion EC, and it's more often than not than that promo ships, especially newer promo ships and in high demand promo ships, they usually end up selling for more than 1.5 billion. And for that, you have to go contact other players, usually through places like the trading channel. So these premium ships, like these Lockbox and promo ships, and to the Lobi ships to a certain extent, are much more of a pain to get your hands on than just your standard C-Store ship. However, there is an alternative. There are two alternatives to get these premium ships, and one of them is actually a free option. That is the event campaign. This is a year-long campaign that consists of multiple TFO events that will run throughout the year. And when you complete this campaign, when you complete the progress on it, you get some rewards. You will get a choice of a premium tier 6 ship. So that will be either a lockbox or promo ship. So you will get one of those for free. You will also get 2 C-Store ship coupons and 1,500 Lobi, and that is more than enough to get a Lobi store ship. Now, just like if they were out of the boxes, the premium ships and the Lobi ships, those will be single character unlocks, so you won't be able to unlock those on your whole account. But the C-Store coupons, that would be just like purchasing something in the C-Store, so those C-Store ships would be unlocked on your whole account. Now, the event campaign, it is a long process. These things are designed to, take about a year to complete. I think you need to complete about 4 of them, like to the to maximum, in order to complete them, and that's assuming you don't buy them out. If you buy it out, you can probably complete it in the first 2 while still doing them. But yeah, these are designed to take a while, so don't get frustrated if it's taking a while. That's intentional, but at the same time, this is the only free option to get these sort of ships. There is another option to get these premium ships. It is not free though, and that is via Mud's Market. Mud's Market has these ship bundles, and this is the only way to get certain premium ships unlocked on your entire account, because these are technically C-Store purchases. So by purchasing these premium ships through Mud's Market, you get them as an account unlock. The downside with Mud's Market is that you never know what's going to be in the bundles. Sometimes the themes behind these bundles make no sense, so it's just like a seemingly random jumble of 3 to 4 different ships in these bundles. They're very expensive too, and also the bundles only stick around so often. Like, previous bundles will come back during certain sales, but for the most part, they're only available for very limited times. So getting them getting them while they're available, and more importantly, getting them while they're on sale. Normally, when they first launch, they have a 50% off sale, so you don't have to pay $300 for one of these stupid things. But even then, 50% off is still not much of a sale. But still, it's really your only chance to get those as an account unlock, and yeah, I've already had this rant before, so I won't go into it here. But yeah, this is your only option to get these ships unlocked on your full account. Again, I'll link the wiki down for other past MUDs bundles too, so you can see what is available. So you can keep an eye on for when MUDs Market sales happen and when the previous bundles show up. But yeah, this is your option for that. But yeah, those are the different types of playable ships in Star Trek Online, particularly the different T6 ships. Because again, you know, there are different types of T6 ships that are available via different means, and it can be kind of confusing for new players. So I hope this kind of clears that up for some of you at least. If you found this helpful, let me know down in the comments below, and while you're down there, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. If you would like to further support the channel, you can hit that join button to become a member, or you can find the link to the merch store down below, or if you are ever shopping on the Epic Game Store, be sure to use my content creator code STU1701. Any of those really help me out, and I really do appreciate it. Either way though, thank you so much for watching. My name's Stu, and I will see you guys next time.